Greetings, fellow duelists. This is Ten Gonzalez from Tane's Yu-Gi-Oh TCG Adventures and Tutorials. In this scenario, I'm going to teach you about the 6 phases in Yu-Gi-Oh TCG. There are 6 phases. The first one is the draw phase. The draw phase you got to do here is that you have to draw a card from your top of your deck one time for each turn. However, at the start of the duel, the first player is not allowed to draw a card from your deck. You cannot do that. Next, we're going down to second main phase. Main phase 2. Main phase 2, start things off, is that when a card that mentions it, there are a lot of different effects that'll help you out on what cards is that you need to use it. Either like when there's a card effect that says once per turn during your standby phase. Make sure to check out each card's effect in a description box right here. Next, we go down to main phase 1. Main phase 1 is where things happen. It will let you summon a monster or set a monster from your hand. You can also set a card that is a spell and a trap card. To perform a normal summon, face-up mode in attack position, simply choose what card that you want to use that is a level 4 or below. For example, I want to summon Soul Resonator. Soul Resonator is a level 3 tuner monster. Just make sure to check out its levels right here on this one by the number of stars. To perform a set, simply choose a monster that has a good defense points. For example, Red Gardena is a level 4 and has a good defense points of 2,000. I bring Red Gardena and I can set that monster right down here face down horizontally. You can tell the differences right here. Monsters in attack positions that needs to be there. Monsters that cannot attack while they're in face down defense. Now we go down to if I recall correctly, let's see here. If I recall correctly, that was, let me think. Oh yes, now I remember. There was draw phase, standby phase, main phase 1, and we're on to battle phase. Battle phase starts where you want to declare a monster an attack. To declare an attack, choose a monster, and then target your opponent's monster cards. Then, to trap the opponent's, then check the differences. If a monster has more attack points, the opponent takes damage. But watch it though. If the opponent's monster has more attack points than your monster, you take damage, and that attacking monster is sent to the graveyard. But if a monster has, let me think. If your monster declares an attack that is in the defense position of your opponent's monster, the opponents must flip the card face up to identify that monster. For example, my card here is Red Gardena. Speaking of which, though, I almost forgetting something. The attacking monster. So sorry about this. If the attacking monster has more attack points than the defense points itself, the monster is automatically destroyed. Something like this. So let's pretend Soul Resonator has 2,100 attack points. Then Red Gardena has 2,000. That means Red Gardena is destroyed. Now, a monster that is in defense position doesn't take the opposing duelist doesn't have to lose life points. But I almost forgetting something. Some cards will have the ability to inflict piercing damage. Inflict piercing damage is a type of effect. Is that if the monster attacks the monster, if your monster's ability has, if the opponent have more attack points than the other opposing monster's defense points, then the differences is damaged. So, for example, to trap from the highest number of your monster's attack points, Then look at your opponent's defense points. Then subtract it from your opponent's life points. Now, if the opponent's monster has more defense points than your attacking monster, your monster does not cannot be destroyed, but you will take damage. So be careful. Now we go on to main phase 2. If you haven't summoned any monsters on the field for main phase 1, you still got it. You still have the time to do that. It's pretty simple. You can also set any spells and trap cards too, though, on main phase 2, which will help you get more time of it, to give you extra time before like getting more defenses or performing an assault attack on your opponent. Now we go on to main phase 6, and your turn. Now some cards will have during the end phase, so make sure to keep an eye on that. During your end phase, the opponent's turn will be begun, and the main phase in each of the 6 phases will repeat. So now you know all 6 phases in Yu-Gi-Oh trading card games. For more information on how to perform them, just check out your official guidebook on Yu-Gi-Oh trading card games instructions manual. That's all there is to it. And make sure to subscribe, comment, and like the video and turn on the notification bell so you might never know what videos I'll be posting on every Sunday weekend. That's all there is to it on how to use and learn of the 6 main phases. This is Ted Gonzalez from Ted's Yu-Gi-Oh TCG videos and adventures. Just kidding. Sorry about that, I forgot. This is Ted Gonzalez from Yu-Gi-Oh TCG's tutorials and adventures, signing off. Keep on dueling, fellow duelists. You are dismissed.